Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to discuss a very important and very scoring topic from community medicine. That is the International Death Certificate, also known as the Medical Certificate of Cause of Death or MCCD. This topic comes under measurement of mortality in epidemiology and it is frequently asked as a 5 to 7 mark question in university exams. By the end of this video, you will know what the International Death Certificate is, how it is structured, what examiners expect you to write, and whether or not you should draw the format in the exam. Before definitions, let's understand why this topic matters. In epidemiology, everything starts with mortality data. If death data is wrong, health planning becomes wrong. So the question is, how do we record deaths in a uniform, scientific, and internationally comparable way? The answer is International Death Certificate recommended by the World Health Organization. So, mortality data forms the basis of epidemiological studies. The most important source of mortality data is the death certificate for ensuring national and international comparability of mortality statistics. A uniform and standardized system of death certification is essential. Now let us come to the standard definition. The International Death Certificate is a standardized medical certificate of cause of death recommended by the World Health Organization for recording and classifying causes of death for international comparison. This definition alone can fetch you one full mark if written properly. Now let us understand the structure. Structure of International Death Certificate. The International Death Certificate is divided into two main parts, Part 1 and Part 2, and this structure is extremely important for exams. Part 1, Cause of Death. Part 1 records the sequence of events leading directly to death. It includes the immediate cause of death, antecedent causes if any, and finally the underlying cause of death, which is written last. Now this is very important. Underlying cause of death is always written last in part 1. Now before we move ahead, let me pause here for 1 minute because there is a word that many students find confusing. Antecedent cause. Antecedent simply means something that happened before. So an antecedent cause is a disease or condition that occurred before the immediate cause of death and which led to it. In simple words, antecedent cause means the earlier cause in the chain of events. For example, if a patient had chronic kidney disease which led to sepsis and then the death occurred, sepsis is the immediate cause. Chronic kidney disease is the antecedent cause. So whenever you see the word antecedent in exams, just remember something that came before. Now, underlying cause of death is defined as the disease or injury which initiated the chain of events leading directly to death, or the circumstances of accident or violence which produced the fatal injury. In exams, always underline the phrase initiated the chain of events. Now let us come to part 2. Part 2 records other significant diseases or conditions which contributed to death but were not directly related to the disease causing death. For example, a patient may die due to pneumonia but also have diabetes. Diabetes is written in part 2. Now many students ask, should we draw the diagram in the exam? For a 7-mark question, yes. But you should draw a simplified diagram, not the full form. You only need to draw this much. Cause of death, part 1, part 2, and approximate interval between the onset and death. So this is the figure of death certificate, the international standard form. This diagram alone can fetch you extra marks and shows conceptual clarity. Now let us see the uses which are commonly asked. The International Death Certificate provides reliable mortality statistics, helps in national and international comparison of causes of death, is essential for epidemiological studies, helps in health planning and policy making, is used for legal and administrative purposes. In India, the WHO recommended death certificate format is modified. Additional questions are added to improve maternal mortality data and infant mortality data. This modified form is used under the civil registration system. Now let me tell you what not to do in exams. Do not write mode of dying like heart failure or respiratory failure. Do not mix up part 1 and part 2. Do not forget to mention WHO and do not forget underlying cause of death. Now if this comes as a 7-mark question, your answer should be in the format introduction, definition, structure, part 1 and part 2, explanation, uses, diagram, and then short conclusion. To conclude, the International Death Certificate is a standardized tool recommended by WHO for accurate certification of cause of death. It forms the foundation of mortality statistics, epidemiological research, and public health planning. If you understand the structure and underlying cause of death, this topic becomes very easy. If you found this explanation helpful, share it with your friends and juniors. Thank you.